Alright, so earlier I covered Maxima's vapor cannons. Now I'm gonna cover his aerial vapor cannons. So he can do this at any time in the air. There's no difference between the A and C version. And it doesn't autocorrect his position if you're trying to cross him over. Alright, so what you want to know is if you use a hard knockdown, you can cancel it from his jumping A or hop C. And technically his jumping blowback too. But not from his B or D. Alright, so you want to use this when you want to... If you notice, it stops his momentum in the air. He just falls straight down. So let's say I try to jump over a fireball, but this time I jump. So one way you can use it is to go over fireballs. You know, it works like that. But there is some recovery on the way down, so you don't want to use it too much to, you know, jump over fireballs, but it's just one use. Another use is just to combo it from your aerial normals to get like but however it's not an overhead. So if you want to use it as a double overhead, sorry, it's not the way it works. You could get your overhead and then cancel into it, but yeah, it's not a double overhead on block. Alright, so one thing to know about this is that aside from hard knockdown, and that the fact that you can cancel from his jumping A or short hop C, is that the EX version is the one you want to use the most. You know, outside of, like, there's no use for this in the combo, there's not much use for it outside either. And it is neat to know that you could get it from a backdash, but really the real strength of this move comes from the EX version. It's 3 hits. If you do it low enough to the ground, you could combo. For mid-screen, it would be difficult to combo. For mid-screen, you have to be really close to them, and you might even have to run up. However, if you have I don't think you could combo it from the level 1 super, but you can most certainly combo it from into the EX super, but that's 3 bars, so you might want to think before you do that. But in the corner, it's very easy to combo. You can even combo from his close D, which is slower than his close C, and it leads to a lot of damage. So when do you want to use this? Let's say you get a surprise overhead on them, you know, on the wake up, but usually it's to stuff out the reversals. So let's say I knock down Kenzo, he wakes up with the DP, I could stuff him with that. Well, actually you want to use it a bit differently than that. So let's say I knock him down. That's what you want to do. If you get a knockdown on your opponent and you do a jump, just bait their DP with this. So if they do a DP, and most of the times they will, you just use EX Vapor Cannon, and the amount of because it has so much super armor on it, it's almost unbeatable actually. Very rarely will a move beat out this, because the super armor lasts for so long, it could absorb so many hits. But yeah, there's 2 ways to combo for this. If you get them out of a DP, oops, sorry. If you hit them out of a DP, wow. And they're going to be bouncing out of the air, and it's usually going to be counter hit. You want to combo into your command level, and then do his air grab dunk. Or you could do this after the command normal. But yeah, that's typically what you want to do. If they block, that's good, because you get more pressure. They're positive, you know, they can't do anything. You can even do it multiple times if you want to waste a bar. What else? Yeah, it's just a very good, like using this is never a bad idea. You know, you can use it to chip them, you can use it to stuff them, you can use it to meaty them. You know, even using it once in the early in the match will make them scared of waking up with the DP, so that you could get jump ins for free. So when you play a character like Maxima, you want to play with fear. You know, scare them into doing things that they wouldn't be able to do otherwise. You know, and then when you scare them into not doing the things that would beat you out, then use that to your advantage and start getting more aggressive. But anyways, I'm telling you a little bit too early on how to play as Maxima, but that's okay because I'll cover it anyways at the end of the video. So that's it for EX Vapor Cannon. You can combo into it from these normals like this. But yeah, in the corner, always want to combo into this or close to you. Or if you're afraid that it won't reach, that you won't combo in time, just use this command grab. And speaking of specials, speaking of this command grab, that's the next special I'm going to cover. So this command grab is another great tool that Maxima has, and Maxima's command grab is probably one of the better ones in the game for multiple reasons. First of all, it's a one frame grab, and that's always good. You can punish things like Terry's burn knuckle. The range is far too, like this far. Well, no, not that far. Okay, it's because Maxima's hitbox is far, but okay, actually the range is not that much, but when you do get it, it carries them all the way across the screen. So no matter where you are, if you land this, they're always gonna be in a corner. So that's one scary thing about Maxima. As soon as you get to command grab on you, you're in the corner. You can't do anything. Alright, and another thing to know is that that's just the B version. The B version is the instant grab version. The D version, he sort of has this little bit of startup, like this, so it's easily telegraphed. And then it gets them. So you want to use this version when, for tricky setups. So let's say you knock them down. You fake them out with a blowback, you use a blowback, but then you whiff cancel into his D command grab. The blowback will make them, when they see the start animation of the blowback, they're gonna want to block. They're instinctively gonna block. And then when they see this, it might be too late for them to react. So, mix-ups with a grappler, it's very powerful. Another thing you could do is the other setup I showed you is this. This is something I use pretty often, just because the standing D makes them feel grounded. Nobody's gonna really think about jumping out after they get, tagged by this. Alright, and the EX version, actually I'll cover the EX version after I cover up the follow-ups. So, when you get them with a command grab, you just input quarter circle back, and he'll do this follow-up. If you don't do the follow-up, he'll do less damage. It's still a hard knockdown, but you do get to cross up. I mean, you do get to cross up with it. And I'm just timing it too early. There we go. You do get to cross up with it. But if you get the follow-up, you can't cross up with it. But the follow-up does get another hard knockdown, a little bit more damage, but more importantly, it's super cancelable. So yeah, it's super cancelable, which does, which is very good to know because it adds a lot of damage. You can't really drive cancel this into his other specials. I mean, technically you can, but it won't combo. So you never want to drive cancel this into anything but a special. On the other hand, the EX version, you can do that. Well, I messed up that, but it works. So the EX version is different in that, first of all, it's not a grab. It's a hit, kind of like Yuri's. So it comes out really fast. And the properties of the follow-up change a bit. So it's first of all, it's a soft knockdown, which means you can drive cancel into things that you couldn't drive cancel into before, and it will combo.